3 titles. One organization that was once the laughing joke, the running joke of the NFL. He gave them credibility. They had lost that credibility in between the Warren Sapp years and the John Lynch years, and now he gives them credibility. He wants to leave this organization in a better place than when he found it, right? So now he's like, all right, I'm not just going to give you 1. I'm going to give you 2. Then I'll ride off into the sunset, point proven, right?
Because you still got to win the second one, Bart. It's not like I'm going to give you. It's just, but I give you the chance to win it. But I want to ask you guys this too: is there was another thing that he said that we were discussing during the break, where his motivation was in saying this, and that is that the idea of starting over after 2 decades with the Patriots. Brady called it invigorating, but he said, when you're at the Patriots, everyone would always come to me and introduce themselves because I was kind of the mainstay. But I was a new guy for the first time, that he felt like it was a different experience and it meant a lot. But when he talked about Belichick, he said he gave him all the praise in the world. Great motivator, great feel for the team, great pulse for what's going on in the locker room, great intuition, great evaluation of talent. When you're in one place for 20 years, you think that's the only way. And I think when you go to a different place, you realize, wow, there is another way that people do things. Is that a shot at the Patriot way, or is that him just sort of having that fresh perspective of, I only thought this was the only way to really win, but I've learned, no, there isn't.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Brady is that naive. Like, there's no world in which I believe Tom Brady thought, I'm not sure about whether or not I can have success outside of New England away from Bill Belichick. I think his comments on GMA the other day, they have to be interpreted as a shot at Bill. Really? They have to be. I don't think you can take it any other way, because we've made so much of the Patriot way the 20 years prior to Tom going down to Tampa, and it's been about the system, and it's been about no player being above Bill Belichick and the hoodie knowing what's in the best interest of the program moving forward. I think Tom Brady realized at the end of it that it wasn't going to go his way. Bill Belichick wasn't going to give him the runway to end his career on his terms. It wasn't going to happen. Like, we think back to 2017, Bill Belichick wanted Jimmy Garoppolo to stay there, and Tom Brady went around him to the owner and was able to force a trade, and they moved him on to San Francisco. But that was Bill Belichick's succession plan for Tom Brady. Like, Tom Brady saw the end of being quarterback for the New England Patriots, and so I think this success that he's had down in Tampa and what his comments were the other day, I think that's him saying, I knew better than Bill Belichick. Everybody wanted to blame me at the end of it with the Patriots, but it really wasn't my fault. It was the supporting cast not being up to snuff, and I finally got a chance to go to an organization that let me have some say, that let me play assistant general manager, put the pieces around me, and look at the success that I was able to have. And now, not only are they talking about the Bucs being the favorites out of the NFC, but Tampa Bay is a destination for players around the NFL, and it basically legitimizes everything that Tom Brady wanted to do.
Well, I think that's where the relationship went south, right? Where he had to go around to Kraft to say, hey, he's trying to get rid of me. I still got a lot of football left in me. I still want to play at 45. This is my plan. This is how I'm staying healthy. I'm eating avocado ice cream. But I think once you have that distrust between your coach and the player, we can all be big boys because we understand what the business is all about, but it never goes the same, right? It's like when your team tries to trade you because they want to upgrade at the position and the trade falls through. It's like, all right, I understand it's a business, but I can't rock with you like that. Yeah. I'll never give you all of me again. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to worry more about myself than it was about the team. You heard the teammates, Danny coming out saying, hey, Tom Brady is the Patriot way. So he's saying, I'm going to show you that it's more about me, as about the success, than it is about you. Because guess what? I'm the one that's taking less money. I'm the reason why people are coming here and taking less money. The same way that in Tampa, the reason that guys are taking less money is to stay with Tom Brady. Not because they love Bruce Arians, not because they love Byron Leftwich. It's because they want to play with Tom Brady because they appreciate that. When have we ever heard a star take less money? We're talking about Aaron Rodgers and why they've only won one there. It's because he's taken too much of the pie. Same thing with Drew Brees. Drew Brees tried to pull a Tom Brady his last year by only taking $25 million so they can go out and get somebody that can help him opposite of Thomas. But like, he's the Patriot way. He's embodied that, and it's his way. So he's like, no, it's more about
maybe it should be called the Brady
way.
Right,
it's more about the Brady way. And that's what he's saying. And I think that was just the cherry on top, the fact that he won in his first year and he watched the organization over there because he understood that he couldn't win. He couldn't win. He looked at Vrabel, who was using parts of the Patriot way, and he beat Bill because he just had more talent. And at some point, I think Tom looked around like, man, I can't win with these bums. He looked down at Tampa and he saw what Peyton did. And he said, oh my God. Like, if Jameis Winston can throw for 5,000 yards, if you input my ability to bring everybody together and my ability to figure it out and all of the experience that I have, man, I can win down there year one.
It just is for Tom Brady, you consider, again, 20 years with one place, and he still loves to play. That, I think he used the word refreshing. It's just a fresh start.
Yeah,
it's
man.
the new start. It's,
you know all your moves, bro.
Just basically saying, you know what? Let me take what I've got and bring it somewhere else and see if it can be successful. And it was, at least in the first year. So let's play a game of Would You Rather. It's KJZ, ESPN Radio, Alan Hahn, Bart Scott, Chris Canny in for the guys. We are presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer gives you multiple quote options so you can pick what's right for you. See for yourself at progressive.com. Okay, so let's start right there with Would You Rather. Let's say, would you rather... And these are all quarterback situations. The Chiefs or the Bucks quarterback situation?
Well, for me, I'd rather have the Chiefs because I think that Mahomes is the best quarterback in the game right now. And I think if they
So you go to the Bucks, and there were a lot of talking heads, a lot of pundits. Not me. Not me. I got your back.
I know you do.
Who said it's not going to work. Tom Brady should retire. The Bucks won't go anywhere. What do you have to say to those people now?
I would say I was always kind of motivated by people that said, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not fast enough. Not big enough. You don't have a good enough arm. You know, I've had a body of work over a period of time. So, you know, you just say, hey, like, quickly you forget.
Presented by Progressive Insurance. All guests join us on the Goodyear Hotline. Alan Hahn, Bart Scott,
in my family
Chris Canny now with us
Scottie
as
Pippen
well.
nose.
In for the guys. Keyshawn and Zubin will be back next week. Jay Will and his wife, Nikki, waiting for the arrival of their second child. We wait with them as well, so we'll hold it down for them. And we're just going to, like, I wish we were still, this was Zoom because I just want to mute.
Yeah, Alan, I got to say this because the people in the audience need to know this. Bart Scott is losing sports credibility by the minute because he just said during the break that he would rather watch the Pistons in the early 90s
You
than,
damn straight.
than the Chicago Bulls.
Are you high, Chris?
He'd rather watch
Stay
the Pistons.
off the weed,
the tail
man.
end of the bad boys.
Yeah.
He would choose to watch them over Michael Jordan.
Are you crazy?
Bulls.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yes,
listen.
no, are you crazy?
Back-to-back titles. They went to the championship 3 years in a row. 88, 89, 90 was the year when they walked off, and they still were trying to hold on to their title. They still was a good team. So just because your team loses one title after they've been to 3 and 1, 2, you just gonna turn the channel? It took me to like the New Breed Pistons to be turned off. The Lindsey Hunter, that teal color, whatever the hell they were wearing then, when I turned the channel.
Alan, I'm about to crush this whole argument right now. Can we direct
please
the
do.
cameras to Bart Scott's footwear, please? Are those Isaiah Thomas sneakers you wearing? Are those Bill Laimbeer sneakers you wearing?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just curious about that. Because he just said it himself. I would rather watch the Pistons in the 90s than the Chicago Bulls,
Yeah,
yet
in
the
the
man
90s.
is wearing Jordan sneakers.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Get out of here. Get out of here and get over yourself, man. Stop it.
In the 90s,
I don't care nothing about that.
in the 90s, were you wearing Jordans?
You're the only person from Detroit
Guess
that's
what?
still
Guess
holding
what?
on to
Guess
them early
what?
90s bad boys. The only
What are you
person.
talking about?
There ain't nobody else.
Okay, you
there
got-
ain't nobody else.
Okay, the great organizations. You have the Celtics for all the titles. You have the Lakers with all the titles. What organization after that got 3? The Pistons. So put some respect on their damn name because they was a whole damn movement. And they were so influential as the bad boys that they had people out of LA rocking Detroit stuff. You better this is
not rational, by the way, Alan, which is why I stopped talking. This is not rational. This is one of those Detroit versus everybody conversations, and I'm just going to let it breathe right now.
Before I was wearing the Jays, I was wearing the British Knights Derek Coleman's. Shout out Derek Coleman. And then when I was doing that, I was wearing the Webbers, son. I wear the Jays now because I got bad feet. And they wide whip.
All I know is this all began with Bart telling me that he's watched more Michael Jordan than I have.
I have.
And
Scottie Pippen's a family member, and I grew up in the Midwest. You was out here watching the Knicks.
Yeah.
I was watching
He
the Pistons.
tortured my team.
That's your fault.
You understand, Brian Quinnett, you don't even know who he is, do you? Brian Quinnett, second-round pick.
I know who
He started
Kelly
the game,
Tripucka
he had
is.
20-something points against Jordan in the first half, and this poor kid quit basketball after the game because of what Jordan did to him in the second half. He walked away, he went to Wall Street, walked right down the block, outside the Garden,